Hey, what up everybody? This is one of those matches that really gets you excited and glad that you're watching WWE Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton for the first time here tonight, July 27th, as we're watching, counting down until SummerSlam. Lots of ways this can really get brought into it, but honestly, right off the bat, it sort of tips your hat of where they're going with it, with what this match is going to do. You have Randy Orton in the match, and you have Sheamus coming down to join guest commentary. Every time you have a guest commentator, you got to know that there's going to be some sort of interference. They don't really bring these guys down to do the commentary unless they're really setting up something and where they're going. But honestly, I had my sights set on what they were going to be doing with Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. You can think of the times that they've tried to be pushing people up the card, and Randy Orton have a match against them on Monday Night Raw, and then you never see them again elevated to that point. You can think of Mr. Kennedy getting fired from Monday Night Raw. I can't remember what year that was, 2009 maybe, or somewhere around there, or when they were trying to elevate Kofi Kingston into that main event spot and him having a series of matches against Randy Orton where, Kofi Kingston wrecked his race car and things like that. And it was one match on Monday Night Raw where Kofi Kingston messed up the RKO. And, Randy Orton yelling at him in the ring how stupid he is. And from there, Kofi Kingston has never reached that spot ever again. He's been featured in some Monday Night Raw spots, but never, I'm sorry, he's been featured in some, Money in the Bank matches. That's what I'm trying to get at. I apologize. But, besides for that, he's never really been elevated to any, main event matches going after the WWE Championship. He's, Randy Orton sort of got this guy pegged down to where he's never going to be, reaching that spot, even though he's been there for a real long time. And he is a fan favorite with a lot of fans in WWE. But, that's what I was really looking forward to. See how the Owens match versus Orton went and how Orton responded to what they had going on in the match. The match was a really, really good, fun match. As soon as they got down to the ring, Kevin Owens was doing what he does best, and that was jawing it out with Randy Orton, and them going face-to-face inside of the ring. From there, we got to see a mix-up of them doing huge brawl spots, really just getting into it all around the ring. Orton and Owens took it down to the floor, and at this point is when Kevin Owens, basically was down and out. Randy was trying to guide him around the ring. They had done a spot with the ring post, and Sheamus, jumped up out of his ring announce chair and gave the huge brogue kick to Randy Orton, who wasn't paying attention to him at the outside. The ref called for the DQ. The match that Orton versus Owens had is hopefully going to be a match that, a foreseeable big, sort of program that we'll see in the future on a Monday Night Raw, leading up into some sort of a pay-per-view. Owens lost a series of matches to John Cena. Where he goes from here, I'm really not sure. It seems like they're building up a series of matches, or at least a SummerSlam match against Cesaro to build some hope of guys in the mid-card that are hungry, that want to have good matches, that build them up into something. But, we've seen, Ziggler versus Sheamus in these matches, hopefully building to them getting some sort of a number one contenders match, or maybe getting into the Intercontinental title shot. I know that Sheamus has won the Money in the Bank, and he's now carrying that around, but you don't ever really hear any talks about Sheamus being moved up into that main card spot, so he's just sort of carrying around a briefcase where there's no plans of when he's going to use it, even though you got the whole year in order to do it. But Sheamus is bringing the attack to Orton inside of the ring, and from there, Cesaro comes running down to break up Sheamus, showing that, Cesaro and Sheamus don't really get along, so you're thinking maybe they're going to have some sort of a deal between the two of them, and then Cesaro goes, jumping right out of the ring, down on to Kevin Owens, bringing the fight to him, showing that this is really, where he wants his fight to be. From there, Owens rolls into the ring. Cesaro comes running at him to make another offensive move at him, but out of nowhere, Kevin Owens hits the, power bomb the pop-up powerbomb right there, and put all of the flames that Cesaro is throwing into the ring right there out. So my guess from where they're going from here is that SummerSlam are going to be seeing Sheamus versus Randy Orton yet once again. That was being built off the last pay-per-view. And then we're going to see Kevin Owens go against Cesaro. But more than likely, probably on SmackDown or maybe even on next week's Monday Night Raw, we'll see Cesaro and Orton tag up against Owens and Sheamus. And maybe that'll be one of the big main events they're hyping for Raw. But we'll have to see where they go. But that's where I think they're going from here.